Good evening. I would like to call the regular board meeting to order. All board members are present. I'd like to say thank you to the stakeholders that are also present. Please stand for the pledge and invocation.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing.
Gracious Heavenly Father, bless us as we go through this meeting tonight and maybe make wise decisions for our schools and as we go through and be with our teachers and administration and students, keep them safe during the year. And just thank you for everything you do for us each day. In thy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please take a look at the agenda. If there are no additions to the agenda, can I get a motion to approve?
I so move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by Richard Box to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Public participation.
All right, well, it looks like we have Reverend Duval, who is signed in for the public comment tonight.
Okay. Reverend Duval.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here to petition the board to honor an educator who has made a tremendous sacrifice to this community. Her name is Ms. Bertha Hood Watson. She is no longer with us. And I just passed out her biography. And I'd just like to share some facts with about Ms. Watson and why I think that naming that first and second grade hall over Naylor after her, why I think that would be an honor. Ms. Watson was a very kind and loving person to a student. She treated all the students with respect and dignity. She served the student with sacrificial love. She provided clothes for them, pencil and pen, and also lunch money when needed. She was responsible for me getting my educational foundation. Nearly all the parents in the neighborhood wanted their kids to be taught by Ms. Watson. She spent over 36 years committed to educating children in Bolivar County. She was a Christian lady who was very active in the church, and she was very big on character building. And a lot of her kids, she put a lot of emphasis on that character building. This request is a little bit more about Ms. Watson, and her contribution to education is also about uplifting the profession of education, showing our educators today that they do make a difference, and that they may not think that their work is going unnoticed, but there are people that they are making a difference in their lives. And so it's also, no, Ms. Watson didn't have any children, but her life is being lived out through the students and lives that she touched. And so I'm here today to ask you all to consider naming that first and second grade hallway after Ms. Watson. She's the mother. She's a stepmom of Judge Kenny Thompson. He would provide any and all expenses that's associated with it. And also, we'd like to kind of start an award for a student, not a student, but the teacher yearly who exemplify Ms. Watson's character and her attributes. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duval.
All right.
that concludes the person signed up for public participation.
Thanks again, Reverend Duval. Cabinet update, Dr. Mucci.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I want to start by saying that so far we've had a very smooth opening, considering all the hail damage that was done to our campuses and all the construction that we have going on. A temporary roof this week was placed over the gym floor at Cleveland Central High School. We have temporary roofs at Central Office, Pierman, the front part of Naylor, Bale, Pierman, and now the gym at the high school. The roof at the Cleveland Central Middle School is 80% complete. They had to stop working there to move over to the high school when the damage just got too bad. We moved them over there for them to work. I think the only thing that's left at the middle school is the science building portion, and they've got the spots that are messed up temporarily fixed until they're able to move back over there. So we've started the roof at the high school, as I said. The front of the gym was blacked in this past week, and the back of the gym, so they're working on B building this morning, which is where, kind of the middle of where the old Margaret Green building is. A is complete, far left, the cafeterias and those two halls. So now they're working on B, which is where they've got like 4 crews today, electrical, HVAC, you know, we had everything happening there today. Once they get past where the single-story building is at the high school and they get to the 2-story, we won't have to worry about moving students like we're doing. So we're like 2 rows left, and I can see the finish line there. So I want to make sure I publicly say, which I did in the email today, that I want to thank the students, the faculty, the administration, and everybody for their patience, their hard work. Everybody seems to just be rolling with the changes, whatever we need to do to get the job done. So that's been a blessing. I also want to say to Delta State University has offered us free classrooms so that we can locate our students. We started going last week with Mr. Kraft. He showed us different rooms. We made a plan, and of course the plan changes by what happens with the construction part. But I want to say that we're very thankful. Delta State is using it as a recruiting tool. They will take our students on tours of the planetarium. They've talked about taking them to the cafeterias to eat, showing them around campus while they're there. So Mr. Alexander has been a big help in helping us get buses to transport the kids, because I think today was a lot of kids that were moved to the high school. So I hope the kids are excited too, just for a change of venue and something different. I'm happy to report the cafeteria renovations are almost complete. Ms. Newsom probably will share some more of that. We're waiting on the graphics to be added, and if you haven't had a chance, go eat lunch in one of the cafeterias, because I like to go a lot. Also, our ESSA projects for the middle school and high school rooftop units, they were telling us November, and we got a treat last week when they let us know that there were 18 units at the high school that would be delivered, and they started today. They put eight installed at the high school today of the 18. They will have 13 that are here ready for the middle school. So that was just like the best gift I could give, was knowing that they're not in November, but they're here in August. So we're thrilled at the early arrival of the units.
So when they finish with the units, then the students will come back to Cleveland Central?
Right, the B building, they got to do the roofing part. So they're roofing, right now they're roofing and putting the units. So yes, by the time these 2 wings are done, nobody should have to move anymore.
Gotcha.
I mentioned the partnership with Delta State, and they offered 9 classrooms. I kind of got out of line.
We got buses and bus drivers lined up to take
Yep.
over.
I started a pastoral council. Mr. Reverend Duval's a member of that committee. We had our first meeting on the 27th at St. Paul from 5:30 to 6:30. And so we plan to have a monthly meeting. I'm hoping the 19th will be our next meeting, so we're just spelled, I need to check with his spell, so I'm gonna have to check again, and before I send out, I've got a text group with them, and I text them information. And I have to be careful not to send them too late, because I'm bad about sending something out at 10 o'clock at night, so I'm working on that one. I was also invited to attend the opening convocation by the President of Del State. It was on August 10th, and so we're working to build that relationship, and I am very pleased at what they have offered us so far this year, and we'll continue to ask and share and do whatever we need to do to try to help build that partnership. And my last thing is that we did just receive a $75,000 grant for Pearman for high-dose tutoring. It's $75,000 for this year and for next year. And that's all I have.
What is our part of that? I mean,
It's that they give us that money.
That it's strictly tutoring?
And a little indirect cost. No. Excuse me, I thought you said yes.
No cost to us.
No cost,
It's
correct.
just strictly for tutoring.
Yes.
Is it after-school tutoring or?
During the day.
During the day. Dr. Bonucci, can I ask a question?
Sure.
About the air conditioning units. You know, last year, those portable units were brought in with the, yes,
The hoses.
yes. Looked like something out of,
Star Wars.
Yes.
I don't know. What will the district do with those?
Those are fixed assets. So right now, they're still being used in some places, so we'll still have those as a backup.
Okay.
Plus, we have that window units that we put in.
Right.
We have those as well.
Okay. Now, the tutoring, is that gonna include hiring new hires
No.
for tutoring? It's to pay people who are
It's
already?
to buy materials and supplies and to do things that.
Okay, so it's not personnel?
Right.
It's
Correct.
consumables?
Right.
Okay.
It's not like, yeah.
Are there any other questions for the superintendent? If not, can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Richard Bond, seconded by George Evans to approve the superintendent's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Business Department, Ms. Pulley.
All right, good evening, you all. I got 4 updates for you tonight. First one is the district maintenance bank account. Our draft numbers, our preliminary numbers for June until we fully reconcile and close the books for fiscal year '23. The fund balance was $14,814,555. We spent $5,632,631 in June, and we brought in $3,343,451. The food service bank account has also been reconciled, and the preliminary numbers are fund balance ended in $1,476,844. We spent $260,591, and the revenue was $205,521.
You say 260,591?
Yeah, $260,591 is what we spent for food service, and we brought in $205,521.
I've never been able to understand this, but if the ending fund balance, and that would be June 30th, correct,
Yes.
of 14.8 million, and then your beginning balance is 16.4. Where did that $2 billion come from?
We spent $5.6 million in June, and we only brought in 3.3. The difference is that two.
But do you understand what I'm saying? In other words, if your ending balance on June 30th and your beginning balance on July 1st,
No, that's June 1st.
beginning fund balance is June 1st.
June 1st. These are June reports,
Okay.
none in July.
Gotcha. I got you. So, but I am to assume that if we close out our books at the end of the year, which is June 30th, I know there's some stuff that's you know, trickles in, still has to go back and be paid out of that.
Right.
But shouldn't your ending balance in June be your beginning balance in July?
Yes, these are our preliminary numbers, so you don't have July reports. So my July report, the fund balance for July 1st would be 14.8 million would be your beginning balance. So we can roll those over. Once we reconcile, we close that
Right.
period.
Because we've already moved money out of food services, surpluses, or anything that we did, we moved it over into general fund monies.
No, food service is completely separate fund, separate bank account.
But we don't, in other words, if they do have a above monies in their account, in their thing, surplus monies above their budgeted monies, we move those monies.
No. We're using those monies for cafeteria rotation.
But typically you move them.
No. We have to keep those separate. Those are reimbursements. She get her revenue through lunch
Right.
breakfast and lunch reimbursements, correct? So those are monies that's given to us from USDA.
Right.
To fund food service. Now, in the event that they don't have enough funds or reimbursements to cover their monthly expenses, then the district come in and then.
But when we run a surplus, if it's 1.5 million to run the cafeteria that year, and she brings in 2.4, then we move those monies into the district maintenance.
We don't move it at 900,000.
We don't move any money from
It's
food
six.
service.
That starts her budget for the next year.
That's correct. She'll have beginning
And
fund
then
balance.
we
of-
fund it, we're not moving it. She's starting with 900,000 or 200,000, and then we put in the other 1.3 to make 1.5.
They've been self-sufficient for.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so,
I know.
speaking in your case, yes, we would have to do that if needed. But we don't move anything from food service back to district.
So it's the same thing as if you moved it and then put it back in there. In other words, if you closed out her account at the end of the year, moved the money into district maintenance, and at the beginning of the year, when you budgeted her 1.5 million, we would be taking it out of district maintenance, to put it in there.
That's if we were doing it that way, but we don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it shows a surplus at the end of the year.
It does, it shows her beginning and ending fund balance, how much she spent year-to-date, and how much she brought in year-to-date. And the difference is what we start her off July 1st of the next fiscal year.
Okay.
But the district never takes money out of her budget
Only
to
for
allocate
expenses.
somewhere else.
Only
The
on
district
what's,
can only add money to her budget.
no, we
That's
take it
correct.
out if it's.
Now, we do take, what you're speaking of, maybe the indirect cost that you're used to seeing, where we take a portion of indirect cost from her budget. I think it's been $35,000 to $50,000 over the past few years that the district would take from food service and put it back into district. And those are indirect costs for us managing and reconciling bank accounts, district costs to fund her, to keep up with her books. The bookkeeping funds is what we use or anything else. But we did not take those indirect costs. It wasn't budgeted for FY '23. So we don't have any to take for this.
It's not like 16 executive funds where you get the interest
Right.
to the district.
But we still get the interest. The interest is transferred back monthly. So if she get $353 in interest, we take that from food service and move it to district maintenance.
Okay.
Yep.
You understand that one, Richard?
Yeah, I got it now. It's the same thing as back, zeroing it out and starting over. Money's gotta come from somewhere to get
Somewhere.
started.
I have a request,
Sure.
and I'm not gonna ask you to do it this time, but next month, and it may be just for me, when you're going over this, if you would tell us what page you're on,
Okay.
because I'm trying to go through and keep up with you.
Gotcha.
And I'm just, this is not my forte.
That's okay.
Not a problem. All right. She was speaking of the fund balance on page 1, right there. Very top level, it's coming at 14.8 million right there.
Mhm.
That's the fund balance we were speaking of in district.
14,000,008. Yeah.
Yes. All right. The third update is on our hailstorm Expenditures to date for the hailstorm damage has been $501,578,000. This includes the cost of all temporary roofs, replacement at the central office, Pierman, Naylor, and Bell. We received a check from the insurance company in the amount of $341,250, and this does not include the most recent approval for the temporary roof at the high school gym.
So we're 80%?
They're gonna refund all of it, they've approved all of it.
They've
but this
approved
all
everything that we've
that we've
done.
spent so far.
And those are permanent roofs, they're not temporary.
Yeah, I
roofs.
These are all
Temporary.
temporary.
We haven't put temporary on there until they can come do the full.
Permanent.
And then do,
We're eventually gonna have permanent,
yeah,
Yes.
insurance company
Yes.
doing,
okay.
not the
And
district.
we won't have to pay for it.
We're
I'm
gonna
not
pay.
gonna say we might have to pay some, but,
The
yeah.
majority of it, we won't have to pay for.
Correct, right.
Okay.
So what we've done is created a separate fund in our accounting software to separate everything we're spending, so we know just how much we need to claim reimbursement for.
Okay,
So we're keeping up with that.
okay.
And the insurance is going up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the money back.
Yep.
I'm waiting to see if the insurance rates will fall.
And we hadn't used it, it was gonna go up.
Yeah.
Right.
And the last update is, I'll bring your attention to the last two pages, so 76 and 77 of this report. These are disposal reports and our disposal gain and loss. This is from the two buses that we donated to Carroll County School District. They picked them up this past week, and the superintendent, Mr. Joey Carpenter, sends his heartfelt thanks to you all. They were really in need of those buses, and after the tornado damage they had, and so they just wanted me to let you all know, thank you. But you'll see the disposal reports where it shows the acquisition value of the buses when we bought them back in 1997 and 2000. And the gain loss right there is $8,930.
Did, were they running?
Yeah.
Probably ain't got no
Ain't nothing they
air.
can do, no
No
sense
air.
to the bug.
They're used.
Good job, Mr. Bus Man.
Ain't got no air.
They're using.
1997 bus still running.
Hot.
Reggie, you might have been here when we bought that one.
That might be one of the used ones that I bought.
96, Dr. Berlucci, I think we have that at Thanksgiving.
Are there any other, any questions for the business department? Not, can I get a motion to approve her report?
I'll make the motion to approve her.
I'll second it.
It's been moved by Debbie Ferrinelli, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the business department updates. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Federal programs, you have anything, Ms. South?
No, ma'am, I had sent back my, amended FY '24 budget today. Had a few minor revisions to change on there. I'm hoping to have it approved this week or next week. So we changed a lot of codes, so I had to do some minor changes. They wanted me to change some personnel codes. And so I sent it back to them today, and hopefully I hear something back before the week is over. And other than that, I do want to let you know, we've had an influx of homeless students that classified as homeless in our district due to McKinney-Vento. And so we are going to utilize funds to, assist parents and assist families with uniform, clothing, and school supplies of that nature.
What designation child is homeless?
It's a
In the eyes of
couple-
the federal, I know, we know what homeless is.
Yeah,
but what-
basically, kind of what it is a child with no fixed nighttime residence. And some of the main thing we see here are with people that are doubled up, either in home hotels or something of that nature. And so that's kind of what we've seen a lot of due to the paperwork. And so we try our best to try to.
So how are we identifying those kids? As they apply?
Yes, sir. They come in with the paperwork. The school sends to the office. Ms. Beamer look at the paperwork. I look at the paperwork, and we sign off on it.
But the school levels identify them first and send them to you?
Yes, they send them to us. We had to get the form approved here. Yes, sir. Yeah, because it's a certain sheet that they fill out here in the office, Then once we review the sheet, we look at it and make sure they have all the documentation and they meet the requirements. But I do notice, and a lot of them were families that previously had affidavits. We don't do affidavits anymore, and so due to that fact, with them living with someone else, that's why we have an influx, so.
Are we experiencing any children in the district that don't speak English?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
What are we doing about that?
We have tutors on tonight's agenda, I think, and also I have to get back with Imagine Learning. It's a program, I'm trying to get a program that where it can go home, we can send a Chromebook home, and it could also help the students and the family, because if we don't address the issue of speaking English at home, it's not gonna help the students in school.
Okay, we've had that
So
before.
we have two programs kind of competing. One Rosetta Stone, the other one was Imagine Learning. But I want something to be better for the whole family, to where they can do the lessons in school, but if they want to take it home to mom, dad, or brother, or younger sibling, it's some things incorporated in there for everybody. So,
Sounds
and
good.
that's all I have.
Any other questions for federal programs? If not, can I get a motion to approve the federal program?
I so moved.
It's been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by Debbie Farinelli to approve federal program updates. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Anything for district?
Is
Operation.
attached to his? Yeah, and I want y'all to know, he took these pictures with the drone that the district had. He got
Oh,
really
yeah.
getting good with it. So we can really check our roofing people to make sure they're doing this right, or if we have issues.
Is this Mr. Johnson?
Yes, yes, I mean, like, you can see him in that third row, you can see him, Nathan, I refused to go in there, and I'm glad I did, and I don't want to be in the picture, where he's showing you the restroom renovations, where they've already demoed at the middle school, and there's your roofing at the middle school at the top, those pictures. And then you can see the completed restrooms, how fine they look. He's got pictures of the cafeteria redesign.
Now, I was at DM Smith, and this looked like the pictures that were at DM. All the bathrooms
They're
gonna
all
look
look the
like
same. They're all gonna look the same.
The cafeterias look
Oh,
fabulous.
don't they? Just know something. They're really gonna look good. And I have to tell y'all this, there's a little girl, one day, it was around lunchtime, it was around noon, I guess, and I was riding in front of the high school checking out the construction and stuff before I went to get my daily Diet Coke. And I saw this young lady, I was like, what are you doing? Like, where are you going? And she said, I'm a senior, I'm going home. I was like, oh, okay. I said, you're crossing the highway? I was like, somebody was with me. I was like, get in the car, we'll get you across, because I don't want you, it's busy at lunchtime. Anyway, I said, did you eat lunch? She was like, no. I was like, girl, come on, you going back and going to eat lunch with me, because we were going to eat lunch at the cafeteria. I was like, even though you got senior leave, we want everybody. I said, don't you think the cafeterias are beautiful? She goes, yes. I said, so if you don't eat, we don't get money, please go eat. So today I was by there, and she was getting ready to leave, and I said, you need a ride? She was like, yeah. I said, did you eat lunch? She said, oh, yes, I did. I said, okay. If you ate lunch, you can get a ride across.
Well, the administration needs to remind those kids daily.
She ate today.
Well, I mean, all of them.
Yeah.
All those seniors.
Yes, that's what
Maybe you
we
don't,
talked about
don't get to
that.
leave until you sign out the cafeteria.
Yes.
Most of them going
Yes.
down there, people been smoking.
Checking in the
You
cafeteria.
know that, Lisa?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't get to check out until
Oh, right.
they
After they eat.
and they check them out in the cafeteria and they can go home.
Yep.
Now, how you gonna monitor that?
With somebody I guarantee you, she got a way to monitor. And she know who coming through that line.
Anyway, she's precious. We're gonna try to get her in nursing school. But anyway, I was just real impressed with Mr. Johnson's skills. So,
Make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve the district operations updates. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Curriculum updates, you have anything to say? Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
In regards to professional development, on July 31st, we hosted our new teacher orientation. We had approximately 22 attendees ranging from 0 years of experience to 21 plus years of experience. We had a lot of engagement and participation because the sessions were hands-on and interactive. And I have personally had some of our new teachers contact me via social media to let me know that that has been the best new teacher orientation that they have attended. So kudos to the curriculum department and curriculum specialist, and also Mrs. Bennett, who assisted with providing some PD related to MTSS. Also, the first week of school, we provided pacing and planning sessions for ELA. During those sessions, the curriculum specialist supported the teachers with pretty much reviewing their high-quality instructional materials, which is my view for kindergarten through 5th grade, and my perspective through 6 through 12. So they assisted them in pacing their lessons and their assignments for this upcoming semester. Recently, we purchased Codalicious, which is a computer science program for kindergarten through 6th grade classes. We are going to utilize the train-the-trainer model where they identify one person who will become proficient in Codalicious, who will be able to train and support the additional teachers in the school. So we will have that PD scheduled for September the 11th. In regards to the grants, as Dr. Ramucci mentioned, the high dosage tutoring grant, I worked with Dr. Hardy to identify high quality instructional material, and that resource will be Magnetic Reading Foundations, which is through Curriculum Associates. That will cost us approximately $8,381, and that includes the professional development that we will provide to the tutors at Pearson. In reference to textbooks, all orders that were submitted by the July 21st deadline have been processed, and so far our last resource was delivered on Thursday. In addition to that, all of our resources, the teachers and students will have access to the digital resources as well. So where the teachers are working with them in the classroom, they can also access those resources at home as well. Upcoming events, pending board approval, we have MDE who would like to come to the district to talk about the Literacy-Based Promotion Act for our 3rd grade students, giving parents an overview about those requirements, as well as providing them with some reading strategies that they can incorporate in their homes on a daily basis. And in reference to observations, I have worked with the curriculum specialist, and we are currently engaging in collaborative observations this week, where we will visit each school and observe some classrooms and pretty much collaborate and identify some areas of strengths and weaknesses and how the curriculum department can support those teachers.
Did MDE say when they want to come?
Which one, MDE?
MDE.
September the 12th, from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. And that will take place at the Cleveland Central High School auditorium.
If you can, I can't get it to pull up, is what you read in our packet?
No.
All right, well, let's try to get it in there, that we can read it and just ask you a question about it when we get here.
All right. Do you have any questions for curriculum? If not, can I get a motion to approve her report?
I so moved.
There's a second.
Second.
It's been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve the curriculum updates. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carries. Approval of consent agenda. Are there any items that should be pulled for discussion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carries. Set the time and date for the next meeting, September 11th at 6 o'clock.
Oh. I won't be in town. I'll be gone.
It would be better for me if it was that Thursday.
What's that Thursday on?
That'd be the 12th, or the 14th, September 14th, Ms. Bell. Am I right on that?
Yep, it's a Thursday.
Will you be back?
I'll be back. It's just 11 and 12.
You'll make it a
Are you
Thursday?
gonna,
So
you
you
all
good with that,
okay with the
Lucille?
14th?
Cabinet, y'all good with it?
You okay with
Is
that?
that too late?
The 14th is
Pulley?
okay.
No.
Okay,
But that's okay. We can still get bills in on time.
okay.
September
Thursday.
14th.
September 14th. 6 o'clock. Okay, can I get a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucia Holmes, that approve the next board meeting for September 14th at 6 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approve of claims docket. Have
Questions?
questions for the docket?
Hey.
Do you all have any questions?
Now, hold on.
Okay.
I got the,
Sure. Yeah, so.
I ain't got any.
Okay.
Right in on
Gotta
the
keep you
ball.
on your toes. Don't know when you're gonna ask. Don't know when we're gonna ask.
You see her tab, Richard?
Do what?
Look at my tabs.
She read
There you go. You start to learn, you know what I'm gonna ask about.
5 was under. 5.
Everybody eventually learns. I'll make-
There are no questions for the, regarding the claims docket. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Richard Bob, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the claims docket. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of cash box for athletics.
Okay. I read that so many times. Let me ask, are we giving him the money so that we don't have to disperse it? He can disperse it?
Yes,
That's what we're asking.
yes.
For Fletcher to disperse it rather than the school after each.
Yes.
So the only part I had a problem with was, at the end of each semester, he would deposit $600 in the bank along the last event's ticket
Right.
sales. All right, so each week, or each game, because some weeks you have multiple games, multiple sports, that we're charging to get into, he's gonna have the initial 600 that he's responsible for.
Correct.
All right, so you got, what goes on the same time in the fall? Volleyball and
Football.
football. So you got a volleyball game, he'll take over the $600.
Not the whole, so it's 200 per sport. So say if we got 2 sports that day, he'll do 300 per box.
Okay, so whatever he takes in above that box, he will deposit.
That's great.
Each event, so there should be some money, if somebody shows up other than us, then it should be money in that pot, be deposited.
Correct.
So the
And at
tickets.
the end of the semester, he's gonna bring you back the
That's-
original
He's gonna
600.
deposit that $600. So the ticket sales will show $600 more because he's depositing the cash box back.
Right.
And so at the beginning of the next semester, we'll cut him another check for another $600 to fund him for the spring sports.
We're not gonna have the Go Fan, whatever that.
Yes, we're still selling tickets and GoFan.
Online.
Yes, because we have to.
Okay.
Okay.
But this would alleviate discrepancies in,
We're having to cut checks for every game.
So you write them a cash check for $200, they go get it, open the box, the next day they bring you back the $200 plus the receipts.
Yes.
And in the next game, you write them another check.
And sometimes we have 4 games a week.
Right.
And so we're cutting that many checks throughout the week. It'll cut down on check costs, how many checks we're using. As long as he returns the money, we're fine. I've never had an issue with it. But it helps because sometimes they get late schedules and impromptu games, reschedules from something, a weather event, and we didn't know about it. He's missing the cash box. Sometimes he has to use his own money. And so,
With your thought.
yeah, so this was, we all sat down and tried to brainstorm a better way for this to happen, and this is what we came up with.
Mhm.
It's okay with you all, we'd like to give it a try.
I have a question. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything, okay? I just want to say that up front. I just want to know how to understand this.
Sure.
Who is responsible for tallying how much money has been taken in at each game?
Gatekeepers.
Okay. More than one person?
Yes.
Okay.
There's supposed to be two-sided tickets. Ticket number one, ticket number one. You come in the game, you pay your $5, they tear off one and give it to you.
Keep one,
you can't.
give one.
Okay, okay.
The money's supposed to match the ticket.
Okay.
Money's
So
supposed to
it's been
match.
so long.
She's on a ticket report, so they turn in a ticket report with everything that they deposit.
So the money should match the tickets.
Tickets are all bought online.
Check out the game.
Well, that
And-
they
and
can't
then
check.
how are the referees paid?
So
How the
we
what?
are.
Referees.
Is that-
Referees, the officials.
The officials.
They submit to you.
Yes, but we're moving over to Dragonfly.
Okay, that's
We're
what,
trying to, so this past week and maybe next week, we'll still have to pay them by check. But he just submitted the requisition today to fund Dragonfly for this spring, this fall sports. And so we'll send that money over to our Dragonfly account, and he should be able to pay officials out of the Dragonfly. So what he'll do, after they show up, he'll go in and approve the payment. It'll come up to us, we approve, he turns in those reports, paid receipts to us at the end of with the ticket report.
So basically, this is a new process.
It is.
Do you think we should consider maybe trying it until December, and then if it works, come back to
I think most all
extend
the
it?
districts in the Delta.
MHSA highly recommends.
So
because
is
they
this the
assign
way?
officials
Okay.
Through Dragonfly.
No, not the Dragonfly, I'm talking about the cash box process.
Yes. We'll see
It's
how
just
it
in the first semester.
Okay, yeah.
Do we have to have for each official, how's their W-2 and withholdings held?
So, MHSA has all that, all the
So their
Dragonfly.
W-2s are-
So we no longer print,
Thank you.
1099s.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay.
All that's done through Dragonfly.
Because what used to happen is you were supposed to referee the game. You couldn't make it, so you called me. The check was cut to you.
And you didn't give the money.
You
on
just
it.
signed it over to me.
Right.
You got your 1099 at the end of the year. It was different than what you actually made.
That's right.
Because I got the money and it went on your 1099.
Adjusted. So
Yeah.
that cuts down on all of that. Now you actually, whoever shows up, you gotta go in and approve and say they showed up.
Okay.
MHSA makes those last minute changes when they're assigning officials.
Okay.
I have one more question. Do you think that we will ever go to a system to where we just use cards? It'll all be electronic and we won't deal with cash?
Unfortunately, we cannot. Of course, the officers, say auditors, we have to offer a cash option.
Okay.
That was a finding for us last year, that we were using just GoFan.
I
So
got
we
you.
had to revert back to using.
Yeah, I might want to buy a ticket at the gate. I'm not using GoFan.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
It has been moved by Richard Bott, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve cash box for athletics. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval for transportation to purchase 2 buses.
Electric.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes to purchase 2 buses. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of emergency temporary roof for CCHS gym.
So moved.
Second.
It has been approved. It has been motion made by George Evans, seconded by Richard Box to approve the temporary roof. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to accept MPOPS grant. Have you all reviewed that? Any questions regarding?
This is applying for it. or
We already
got
got this.
We have it, so we're accepting it.
Make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucille Holmes to accept the MCOPS grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to accept the 4K literacy grant.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the K-4 literacy grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of the MDE literacy coach agreement.
Question on
No
Any
question.
questions?
Are you good with these grants?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because that's your red wagon, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
Free money.
I know, but I still want to, it's a courtesy.
Are there any questions regarding the literacy coach agreement?
This is just a commitment. We have to have them, and it's just approving the commitment.
I so moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve the MDE literacy coach agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to participate in fresh fruit and vegetable program.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve participation in fresh fruit and vegetable program. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Do we have any bids for lawn service?
We got one. Can you get up, babe?
The oldest one in here had to go get it. Look
I
at
ain't
that.
mad at it.
Like to love now.
I have to rock too.
Okay, we have one bid from Gary's Lawn Service.
And that's Hawthorne.
Is that who we had last year?
That's the one we're doing now.
Are we pleased with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all got any complaints?
Well, you did kill one of my bushes, but he brought me a new one.
It'd be all right. That's that dog come by there. That dog come by
He doesn't
there.
get to my yard like he should.
Huh?
He doesn't get to my yard like he should.
Where's he got to do school?
I know.
A lawn service, what?
I don't know what
Did
it
we
was.
change them last year? Somebody we weren't happy with.
That's why we
Lucille,
changed it.
We
That's
went
why we
from
with
one
him.
to him.
Right,
You
but
got rid of
one,
one you weren't happy
Yeah.
with.
Right.
This is new.
but I do want to ask that in doing this, because DM Smith Cypress Park is still an issue on that Cypress Park end. So if you all would double check,
Is that one of his
it
responsibilities?
is.
What, and you're saying the issue with the grass or the shrubs?
The grass on that, the Cypress end, when you're going on that parking lot side, that whole side.
Okay.
So
So,
the bushes in front of that school was ridiculous at one time.
They look good now?
Then he straightened them out.
No, that was our,
So he's not,
Tree cutting.
he's not in truth with the trees now.
No, I know that's Lee with the trees.
what I'm talking about is grass and weeds
are you
on that
talking
side
about on
of the
the right of
building,
the sidewalk there or on the left?
against the building.
Okay.
They were thick.
You know what I'm talking about? On that side, like going to the back of Cypress Park, not like where we were parked at that day when we did that walk through, that area from there on around.
And if the custodians or somebody could check the yards to make sure that there's nothing that the mowers are gonna run over. Would
Talking
you
about
let me
trash?
know where it's gonna be? Is it on the schedule?
I got a different philosophy on that.
Bricks.
Uh-huh.
No. ISS ought to be cleaning up that campus every day.
Oh, no. No, you
Picking
can't
up
do
trash.
that.
Okay, I'll second
You
the
can't
motion.
do
It
that.
used to.
Back in the day, that worked.
You got civil liberties.
All right,
man.
let's get back on track. So we
Ain't gotta
received
work. How much is it?
it's $7,700 a month.
What kind of grass he cut?
A lot.
A
A
lot.
lot.
This is for central office, Cleveland Central High, Cleveland Central Middle, Parks, Elementary, and DM Smith / Cypress Park. This is a 2-year proposal that consists of lawn mowing, weed eating, edging, blowing, and maintaining hedges and shrubs year-round.
On those
So we
campus.
need to ensure that those services are being done.
And for 2 years. Why you gonna do 2 years?
We added that
We added
ourselves.
We
Two
added
years.
that.
Yeah.
What
The
kind-
reason we
kind-
did, Lucille, is because he asked, or several of them that were gonna bid on it, they can, see, if they know they got it for 2 years, they can do more spraying, preventative stuff, and getting the weeds to grow up, rather than just fight, you know,
It takes 2 years to get it right.
right, because you take it over in August,
2
you
seasons.
take it over in September.
Right.
Season's about over.
Well, you missed the growing season.
You know, you're gonna cut them 3 or 4 times, and that's it. You got the winter, and then the spring comes, you got weeds out. So the 2-year deal allows them to do some preventative stuff, which I think is a good thing. And maybe we, you know, the area you're talking about, Paulette, if he can cut it and spray it, then, you know, that's a,
Right,
maybe twice a year cutting there, not a
right.
5 or
It's
6
just, it was growed up. And then I'm thinking too, behind
Is
CC,
Cypress Park on that list?
it is. Behind the middle school, like along where their, fence is in their parking lot, when you go around, where that dumpster is, that area needs attention to.
So wait,
They, you know, that athletic, let me tell you where the field house.
Not quite where the field house is, I know where you're talking about, athletics usually do that, but that little, it's some grass right on that side, like where your fence area is at the middle school, right when you turn that corner, that grass in that area,
Let's
is
just
that
find out
athletic?
if the athletic department's supposed to be cutting that, or Gary's supposed to be cutting it, and that's
Do
handling it
you
from
know?
That's not athletic.
Question.
So I don't
So you know the area I'm
I
talking
know
about?
exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so if you'll check on that also.
But
All right.
I was
Point of
suggest-
order. I got a question.
What?
Jessica has a question.
Okay, but we still were in discussion, hold on just a minute, I saw him. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, if it's approved, I would suggest you get a copy of the services supposed to be rendered to Mr. Harrison, so he can,
That's right.
who's gonna
Right.
check on it?
Right,
So if you
Is that your
get it to
question?
Mr. Harrison, he can see to it
It's in that
that
letter.
these services are being
it's,
done.
it's all here,
So if you got an area of concern, let him know, and he'll let
Correct.
Gary know.
right. Okay, Ms. Pulley,
Before we approve, I wanted to ask, is it $7,000 even on off months when he's not cutting?
Yes.
Yes.
it's September 2023 through August 31st, 2025.
When we originally did this, if you went to per cutting, you were gonna pay the same amount of money. In other words, if you said, okay, we want you to cut them this amount of times, and then it came out better if for them to, so that they had it.
How many cuts we get per month?
It don't say.
Do we need to
I
say?
mean, he's got to cut, he,
We can't keep up with it.
that was
Yes, you
the issue,
can.
that was the
You
issue.
can tell him you want him to cut yards X amount of times a month. He gets that, we tell him, he don't tell us.
But that should have been in our,
There's this thing
that
called
should have
Mother
been in
Nature.
our,
An agreement.
proposal request.
There's something called Mother Nature.
But in order to get the results Richard was alluding to earlier, if he doesn't put pre-emergent down in the wintertime, that is a liquid chemical that goes on the grass that controls the weeds during the winter, so they won't come back during the summer.
And he can't put it there when the kids are there.
Correct, you can't do it then. But he could do it during the Christmas holidays. You see people's yard green.
Spring
when they
burn.
spray them.
Yeah.
It's called a pre-emergent.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
And it will control that, but it's take 2 years of that.
It took
to
us
get right.
10 years to get to that point. We tried everything in the world. Once we lost the inmates during the summer cutting the grass, and us trying to keep up with lawnmowers,
I want some more.
and all that kind of stuff.
No.
This comes out cheaper.
What is the annual amount of money?
Sometime 12.
92.4.
The first year we did it, the lowest quote we got was
Every
$10,000 a month.
Every
No,
campus?
it's not every campus.
How many campuses?
This is central office, the high school, the middle school, parks, and DM Smith/Cypress.
The only thing he really doesn't do is Hayes Cooper and Bam.
What about Pearwood?
No, we don't do
He doesn't do
Who
field.
does pyramid?
That's what
We
most
do.
grass.
He does part
Who
of
does
them.
pyramid, Mr.
We do.
Adams?
We do.
We
Okay.
do.
Give me a number.
I mean, this
All right.
was the way we tried to get it down. I mean, we worked on this for years. Georgia T,
Yeah.
trying to privatize it. That allowed Mr. the maintenance department not to need as many year-round employees
And many lawnmower.
because it got harder and harder. Originally, we used inmate labor, a lot of it, and you could go get that when you needed it, right?
Still can.
They can't be there when the kids are there.
Not now, because I got a six.
Not in the building.
They can't be on the premises, I don't
Not
think.
supposed to be on the ground.
Okay.
So you could get them in the summer, but then you got your summer school program, it just became a problem. Then we were carrying 2 people year-round on payroll. Of course, they did other things during the
We
wintertime.
still are.
No.
Do we-
Additional people.
Oh, addition, okay.
Do we know how many times they're cutting a month, though? Do
He
we
gonna
know?
cut as many times as Mother Nature allows.
We know that.
If it rains, you can't cut it.
Oh, he's been doing well, okay.
I got no complaints from anybody. I used to get 2 a month.
Why she asked, what she asked, she needs to ask.
You entertain a motion?
Ms. Fuller, you asked a question, was it a specific reason why you asked about your,
The question you asked was 12 months, every month.
Just like we did last
Yes,
year.
I'm just concerned about paying for services that are not rendered in months that not doing anything, like the winter months.
He could be doing the shrubbery.
You did
Is it
last
It's
year.
always
Can
the
I
way,
ask the question?
You did last year. 7,000, I think it was 7,000 last year.
he can do shrubbery during the winter, he can do spraying during the winter.
If you hire a good reputable person to do anything in this, they're gonna make sure it's done right. And if it requires 4 cuttings a month during the
Pruning,
summertime
myrtles,
and none during the
a lot of
wintertime,
stuff.
that's what they're gonna
Can be
do.
done in the winter.
They can't mow during the wintertime.
we'll just rely on Mr. Harrington to ensure that
That's right.
all properties are being taken care of.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by Richard Bach, seconded by George Evans to approve the Gary's Lawn Service LLC proposal. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of Teach for America MOU.
Oh, they got the Teach for America again out here?
Yes, we have one of our graduates that's a Teach for America teacher at the middle school.
Well, I didn't know they were holding that out here anymore.
Well, they're not holding it here, but they still provide teachers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I so moved.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve Teach for America's MOU. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of the Washington County Juvenile Detention Center Agreement.
No changes from last year.
Correct.
Are we using this facility?
I mean, we have
Have
to pay
to.
our part, but since I've been here, I'm not aware of anybody that's there, but you have to stand ready.
I'm just asking because I don't know.
Right.
Why use Washington? Don't we have one in Rosedale?
That's a juvenile holding facility. It's not a juvenile detention center.
Okay. We got some in detention.
No.
That means they
Oh.
stay
You
here.
have to, everybody has to participate.
I move we approve.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Boggs to approve the Washington County Juvenile Detention Center Agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
Lucille,
Yo,
I had the same question years ago.
yeah. I don't know, I don't know that. Since
We
I've
hope,
been on the board,
I was
don't know
told
that we've
then
seen
that
anybody
we have to
down there.
participate in it, we hope we don't have to use it.
Approval of Bolivar County Community Action Agency Rapid Rehousing MOU. Are there any questions regarding that MOU?
I'm not on, right, okay. Is the lawyer looked at all that? Because that's something.
The
you-
lawyer has, and basically, as I read it, it's just an agreement to sort of share information back and forth about children who are homeless. We're not really promising to do anything other than being cooperative and then hope, I guess, that BCCA steps up and helps with those things we were talking about earlier.
They working with us?
Yes, ma'am, what it is, these families that have been identified, is once the agreement is approved, I communicate the information to them to be able to try to find them housing.
Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Make the motion to approve.
I second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the agreement with Barber County Community Action Agency. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approve a 3-year contract for Learn Safe, Slate XP for technology. Are there any questions regarding that? Did you have any, you had something?
That's just the software that I shared with you guys that monitors even things that
That's
kids do not
erased.
get entered
Mhm.
on. It can, and it's actually, during the testing, it caught some things, some kids going through some emotional stuff. and
It already
so-
has caught some.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the 3-year contract?
So moved.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Debbie Farinelli to approve the contract. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. MOU, approval of the MOU with the City of Cleveland for Resource Officer Program.
So
Are there any
moved.
questions?
No.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve that MOU. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of revised dual credit MOU with Cahoma.
That's a move.
Can I get a second? It has been moved by Lucille Holmes, seconded by Debbie Farinelli to approve that revision. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of Strategic Solutions for Families MOU. Are there any questions regarding that?
Move or approve.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the Strategic Solutions for Families MOU. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval for DSU MOU for the counselor practicum and internship.
That's a move.
It has been moved by Lucille Holmes, seconded by Debbie Farinelli to approve that MOU. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of MOU and contracts with special services. There are 2 agreements listed under there. Behavior, attention and developmental disabilities consultant and junior auxiliary. Are there any
This
questions
is the same as
regarding
we had
that?
before,
Yeah, no doubt.
Can I-
Lisa.
So, I'm
Is
sorry.
this the same as we had before?
24, 1 and 2.
They were doing that when I was
Marley Lucille?
in. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Move or approve.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Boggs to approve items of the MOUs with special services. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of the MOU with Cannon Motors.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the Cannon Motors MOU. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of Center's floor mats and dust mops agreement.
That's who we with now.
This is district-wide.
Yes.
So moved.
Did they,
Can I-
I don't remember
They
ever
bid on
approving this.
did they bid on
I
it?
don't ever remember
Is
seeing
this-
Did you
it.
have to bid on it?
What, are they putting mats at the doors or?
Right, and
They come change them every, check them every week.
So like what Aaron Martin
All right,
used to
so
do.
Yes, yeah, it's.
who were we with? Were we with Centos previously?
I don't, Mr.
Air Max.
The reason we was going to, trying to get the mat, the dust mop company, Barnes used to supply the dust mop, they no longer supply the dust mops anymore. So that's why we went looking around to other companies. Centos has a state contract on dust mats, but they also give us a quote to handle our dust mop service.
So this is something we hadn't had before, is mats.
Not the
Census
mats.
is new.
Yes, it wasn't,
Not the mats,
not the mats, so this is something we're adding.
yes, on the mats.
That-
So we've used it for the dust mop.
Did
Yeah, we
Okay.
have, we use
Just
Barnes
something we
before, they no
budgeted for.
longer provide that service.
did we
No
budget
end to
for
me.
this?
Okay. All right, any other questions
They
regarding
just
that?
put them at each door or whatever. I move we
Well, I don't,
approve.
where's the money at?
I'm looking too.
All right, so,
District maintenance.
all right, so the dust mops are, of course, they're not rentals, but the mats are rentals.
Change out every week.
change them out
And
once
it's
a month.
$5 and
They changed dust, the dust mops too. They
Should be
changed
so they
changed.
that.
bring in new dust. And so each month, they'll bring 9 3x5 black mats,
Right, that's
delivered to the
right.
locations
Mhm.
for $5.40 per mat per month.
Yes.
$45.
All right,
Then we got 49 of them go 4 to 6,
That's $5.
$6.90 a mat.
We'll have a clean floor.
can I get a motion to approve?
I so move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by
Reggie
Richard.
Reggie,
Richard Bob.
Reggie Bob.
To approve the census agreement. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approve of policy JCDB update.
What is that?
That's,
Dress code.
Dress code.
The statement was misworded about the length of the shorts and skirts, so it was just reworded.
yeah.
Move approve.
Can I get a second?
Second. You got a question, Deb?
I do have a question.
Okay, my bad, I was saying about the second.
Because, never mind.
Go ahead.
You got a question now?
No, that's okay.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Richard Box, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve the policy JCDB update. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. We're gonna take a look at 28 and 29 together. That's to discuss and table board policies for August and school safety plans. Is there any discussion regarding either of those?
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
I had to watch a couple of videos for Delta State this semester. One was on harassment and one was on school safety. And I had to watch the videos and there were quizzes and then at the end, y'all did that too? Y'all are so ahead of me. Okay, never mind.
Are there any questions regarding those policies or plans?
I make
Can
a
I get a
motion to approve 28 and 29.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to table items 28, 29. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. We're going to look at items 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Those are items that are being removed from table and approved. That's our federal programs manual, ELL manual, our July board policies, our 2023 coaches handbook, student athletic handbook, alternative education plan, instructional management plan, and business office procedures.
I make a motion to approve 30 through
36.
36.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by George Evans to approve items 30 through 36. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. 37, personnel agenda. Are there any questions regarding the agenda?
Just an observation, I see we have no vacancies, so I feel.
I got
Non-listed.
one I want to ask a question about, but it's not numbered in mine. Are they numbered in y'all's?
No.
Just the top.
Well,
Just the top 7.
Rest of them ain't numbered.
is it something that we need to, that can be answered?
Well, just count out the line. Who is, what line is it?
Well, Lord, it's down there at the bottom, George.
We'll count from the bottom up.
I don't know how many's on there.
Is it under the recommendations
Which one?
What
Top
number
or the
is
bottom?
it?
Top?
Is it something that we can discuss now? Does it need to go to closed session?
It need to be a closed session.
Number,
You know what
which
I'm
number?
It's number 27 by Ms. Pulley's chief.
That'll be discussed in closed session. If
I
there,
make a motion to approve personnel as presented, absent 27. And Ms. Pulley
can I-
has the sheet with the number on it.
okay, can I get a second to that effect?
I second.
Yeah, because it's not done. It has been moved by Richard Box, seconded by George Evans to approve personnel, excluding number 27. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried.
Aye.
All right. Can I get a motion to consider executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We will be entering executive session to discuss Lucille Holmes. For the following reasons: 16th section, Big River, district to district transfer, student readmittance to RAC, Boys and Girls Club MOU, and personnel.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved, yeah, I added it. It's been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Box to move into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
5-minute break.
3-minute break and we can roll.
3 minutes, let's roll on. Roll on, Georgia, roll on.